Hi friends, welcome to rscarmodifiersales. This is Raj from rscarmodifiersales. So today we have come up with a new setup in a Volkswagen Tiguan. So the customer has seen all our videos from YouTube. He has referred and he has visited the shop, and basically he was confused whether he want to go with a passive or a active setup. So once we had an interaction with the customer, and after I have explained him all the possible ways which the setup can be done in his vehicle, so he has gone with an active setup. So in RS car modifiers, most of the high-end setup we go and prefer with Audison, because the DSPs of Audison is one of the best in the world. So when the customer basic requirement was a good vocal, so we have gone with a three-way vocal in the front, that is a voce series. And in the voce series, what we have gone is a mid-bass, a mid-range and a tweeter, all from the voce edition. And as the customer didn't want any high-end support from the coaxial, we have gone with the basic series of Audison for the coaxial. All these 8 speakers are driven through a Forza 8.9-bit amplifier cum DSP, and the woofer or the bass side is taken care by an active sub which is from Audison. So let me explain you each and everything which we are going to install in this Tiguan one by one, and what is the output which is expected out of this setup. So the installation process of this setup basically is going into 3 days, because the pod creation takes 2 days, the wiring and the assembly of the unit is a day, and the third day will be for tuning. Audio, as you always know, has a frequency signal from 0 to 20 Hz. Each of the signal has to be played through a particular device. So we have segmented this 0 to 20,000 Hz signal into 4 devices. That is, the lower frequency we are going to play it through an active subwoofer. The mid-range frequencies we are going to play through the mid-range, and the vocal or the range frequencies I am going to play through a mid-bass, and the higher frequency is through a tweeter. So in this setup we are going to basically cover all the signals which has to be given to the device to get a good output. So I'll be explaining the technical specification first, and we'll be then showing you the work what is going on in the 2 to 3 days. Once the complete setup is done, I'll be explaining you the DSP tuning process. How does the DSP is going to help in getting a better output, then the review of the customer. So let us start with the explanation of the products first. So many people may have a curiosity ki what kind of audio system which has come in the device itself. So I just want to show these are the speakers which has come inbuilt in the device. So there were 2 components in the front and 2 coaxial in the back. So you can see the quality which has been provided by the company, and you see the magnet quality as well. So we are basically going to change this. I will show you the quality which comes from Audison and why it is going to enhance the music in the car. So let's get into the specification of each of the device which we are going to install in the car. As we have already discussed on the day one what and all we are going to install, now the final installation has been done. That is basically the wiring as well as the mid-range tweeters and the mid-bass have been already installed with the active subwoofer. So you can see the mid-range and the tweeters have been installed in the front pillar. With respect to the right side, again you can see there. So as I have already informed you, everything will be run through this APF 8.9-bit. What is APF 8.9-bit is basically a 8-channel amp with a 9-channel DSP, as you can see here. So what specification you get in this is basically a 85 watts into 8 at 4 ohms, or 150 watts into 8 at 2 ohms, or 300 watt into 4 at 4 ohms. Right now we are using 85 watts into 8 ohms for all the 3 speakers in the front, that is total 6 speakers, and 2 speakers in the back, and 1 pre-out for the active subwoofer. So the major thing in any active system is the tuning. So in this video I'll be explaining you what kind of a tuning can be done through a DSP. So I'll try, as the tuning is a very vast subject, it is difficult for us to cover everything in a single video, but I'll be able to explain you the basic things which the system will be able to do. So let's go, and I'll be just explaining you how the tuning process has to be done. Right now let us see you what is the process of installing the software as well as the tuning of the DSP. So if you see, I've just opened a browser here. So let us go to the Audison page first. So now we are in the browser, so we are going to go to the Audison page first. So when you go to the Audison page, you have lot of options. If you can directly go to the DSP amps here. So once you click on the DSP amps, you will get all the amps come DSP which is there. So we are going to get into the APF 8.9 bit. So once you click on the APF 9.8 bit, you get all the description which is respect to this 8.9 bit. So you will get all the descriptions here. So if you want to download any of the apps, you just go to the support icon there. So here you will get software APF bit all models and firmware APF bit all models. So obviously you have to download all this, then go for the installation of the software. Right now I have downloaded the software, and once I come to my desktop, there is an app called as APF bit. If you can see here, there is an app called as APF bit. I just double click that, and I have just connected the wire to the processor. So once I connect the wire to the processor, once it gets connected, you will get what and all is already there. So if there is any software or a firmware update are available, then it says you want to download the item, then we click yes. Once you open this app, it will read from the existing thing in the device. So it shows a software or a firmware update, so we can do it later on. So you just give a no. So once you see in the right side, it will clearly show Audison APF 8.9 bit firmware 1.0.2.0 and the device number and the serial number as well. So now basically there are so many ways of devising it. So right now what we are going to do is, first, this has been already configured. Because we have already preset the DSP now, I'll be just showing you what are the options you will get. So when you come to the device here, you will get something called as a synchronize. That is, you can read from the device or write to the device. Basically we'll be writing to the device because we are configuring the same through this 8.9 bit software. After you synchronize this, you finalize the device, and you have an option to load up the preset, update and do a reset factory default. So if you come here, you have something called as a configuration wizard. Then all the configuration which you can do in this wizard. Then you have load memory from a file. Suppose if you want to save from an existing memory, you can do that. And you have something called as a file. So file, basically you can save the existing setup first. So it will show to any of the folders. You can write Tygonia and you can save the file for the further reference. So if you are going to change anything and you want to get it into the old file, you just preload that file. Just go to file here. You can just give a load and take the same file and just upload the same. So whenever if there is already configured, better is to save this file, then work on the new project. So basically if we come to the configuration wizard, when I just click that, you will have so many options in this. You have the configuration wizard, you have the input configuration, input level setup, deequalization, amplifier output setup, speaker connection and the output configuration. So let us start here. So in this you will get an option which is called as the input configuration. Here you will get which kind of an input you want to take. So we have gone with the front plus the rear plus the sub. Here we have gone with the front plus the rear, and it says like where you want to take the input for the sub. So we have given only the front. Okay, so once you do that, then you come to the input level setup. So you can basically play the track 1 in the device, and you can set up the 0 dB setup. So we can skip this process because it is already done. Then you play the track 2 and press a go, then it will start equalizing the input signals. We come to the amplifier output setup. So as you are already explained to you, we have 8 channels of DSP output and a pre-out for the active sub. So after this, when you give next, so here is what you configure. You configure what is the actual setup of the vehicle which you are going to do. Suppose if you are going with a 3-way, you select all these 3, and if you just go with the coaxial, you select this 2, and an active sub, you select this one. So depending upon whatever channels you are going to install in a vehicle, you can choose it here. Even you can link or bridge it as well. So many options are there. Then once you do the output configuration, you get this data. As you can see here, basically what we have done is a 3-way in the front. So we have gone with the mid bass, mid range, and the tweeter here, and a coaxial here. See, now we have done all the process which I have explained you before, and you can clearly see here we have 3 channels in the front, and these are the right channels of the front. Then you have the coaxial in the back, and you are going to have the subwoofer in the back side. So I am just going to play a small kind of a music just to show what and all can be tuned in this. So it's a simple thing. See, once I press on my left tutor, you get a lot of options here, like the filter type, filter model, and from what frequency you want to play the tweeter from. So this is there, and this is can be configured for everything. Front left mid range, right mid range, left woofer, right woofer, the back left speaker, rear right, and the subwoofer. So we have set as per the terms which we want the output to be. So this is what a DSP is basically going to do. As I have already explained you many of my videos, you can change the crossover frequencies as per what is the requirement of the customer. So suppose if you want the tweeter to play from more than 3500 Hz, then we make it 3500 Hz to get a better high frequency. So it all depends on what kind of an output the customer is there. These cannot be done in a passive setup. So as I have already explained you, the major thing which you get in a DSP is basically you can play around with all the crossover frequencies, then play everything, then set it as per the requirement of the customer. So as I have given a brief on how to work on a 8.9. In the further installations, whenever we are going to do a new installations, we will be explaining you each and every of the DSPs which we are going to use it from Audison. So if any one of you are looking for a good audio setup, you can visit us at rscarmodifiersales. You can come to our showroom. I'll be there explaining you what kind of a setup is required by you and what kind of output you're looking for. See the output, how beautifully it has come. You can see how crystal clear the audio output has come. So when you listen it physically, you will get more idea of what kind of an output we can get it through a DSP. So we recommend most of our customers to go with the Audison setup because it is able to provide the output as per the requirement of the customer. To get a proper demo of what kind of an output you can get out of this kind of a setup, you can visit our showroom, rscarmodifiersales. We'll be able to show you a demo what kind of a output you can get from a 3-way or a 2-way passive. Then you can decide as per the requirement of yours, then get it installed at our store.
దిల్గే la la la.
So let us catch in the next video. See you, bye.